All right. My name is Lori Woodbury, and I am a Business Development Manager here at Stouse. I appreciate all of you taking time out of your busy schedule to sit in on this webinar about making a lasting impression with your customers. In my position as a Business Development Manager, it's my role to make sure that we develop relationships with our customers, so I'm constantly trying to think of ways to do that. Anytime I meet with a customer, I want them to remember something about me, even if it's just the food I bring to my meeting. You never really know which thing it's going to be that sticks with a customer. So I truly believe that you have to practice most of the items that I discussed today to really make an impact. You know, what works for one customer may not work for another, but if you're doing all the steps, more often than not, you'll connect with your customer in some way. So I feel like the pressure is on me to leave a lasting impression with you today, and you should be able to give some feedback after the webinar, so be honest. I appreciate any compliments and will use any constructive criticism to improve the next webinar. I expect this to take about 20 to 30 minutes, so feel free to type in your questions at any time during the webinar. There should be a bar on the side of your screen where you can do that, but I'm going to wait till the end of the presentation to answer any of those. All right, this is the format of the webinar and the topics that we're going to cover. I'm first going to talk about customer visits, both internal and external, and how to make the most of those two situations. I'm then going to touch on how to shine at trade shows and exhibits, and then how to leave a lasting impression online. Last, I'll go over some ways to impress your customers with some random acts of kindness, and then we'll cover a few things that I'm sure you already do. But just in case you don't, I'll talk about them, and those are the usual suspects. The first topic is customer visits to your store or location. And I know that this isn't going to apply to everybody listening in on the call, so I apologize, but there's definitely tips here that can apply to any type of customer interaction. I saw this quote and I liked it. What it meant to me is that the first impression is the most lasting. And since we're talking about lasting impressions, that means that the first time you meet a customer, it needs to be positive because that interaction is going to be the most memorable or lasting. If you leave a bad first impression, you may wind up looking like the group in the corner of your screen. Internal customer visits might be the most difficult to manage. They most often occur when you have a storefront or an office, and sometimes it's walk-in traffic, oftentimes unplanned. So how can you be ready to make a lasting impression when you don't know when that opportunity will arise? I think you need to step back and really take a critical look around your space. Is it clean? And not just clean enough, but really clean. You have so many other hurdles to jump through with your customers that this shouldn't be the one that gets in your way. Cleanliness shows that you care and that you're organized, and that translates positively to customers looking to do business with you. Ask yourself, do you have plenty of products for your customers to browse while they're in your store or office? Even if you don't have a large space, putting out a few products will give them something to look at, and it might open their eyes to something new. Any bulk samples you have are well organized and easy to shop. I've heard from many of our customers that they have a drawer stack or bins of samples that are separated by style, product, etc., so their customers can easily find what they're looking for. And make sure that if you have product on your walls, it looks great. You definitely want to showcase your best work, and you should show your work. I liked this graphic because you can see how many ways they have displayed printed product in the storefront. There are window decals, samples in the window, a flag banner on the side, there's a neon sign above the door, there's an A-frame curb sign, there's a door hanger. This really presents a clear message about what this store does. Next, you want to remember. This really goes both ways. You want the customer to remember you, but you also want to remember your customer. People love takeaways, so I suggest having cool business cards sitting out, fun pens, stickless fans, all of these with your logo on them, coasters for their drinks with your logo, or any other countless promo gadget. Anything they can take home with your name on it will increase your chances of being remembered. And likewise, be sure that you capture your customer information so that you can follow up. Of the tips that I've given so far, this one is definitely the most crucial, which brings me to the next slide. There truly is no point to a customer meeting if you don't follow up with them. I suggest an email right away to thank them for the visit and to give them your contact information. I would also send them something useful in the email and tell them about a product that you didn't discuss in this face-to-face meeting. So an example of an email would read, "Dear Paula, thank you for taking time to meet with me today. I enjoyed hearing about the school fundraising project you're working on. I know we discussed some ideas, but attached you will find a school fundraising flyer to help you remember the variety of products we offer." So the flyer is the something useful that you're sending to your customer. Goes on. I'm also including a link to our website where you can find spirit gear for your schools. We didn't discuss clothing, but this is a great way to raise money for your school. www.schoolfundraisinggear.com. I'm happy to discuss this with you anytime. And that is the product that you didn't discuss in your face-to-face meeting. You should also attempt to complete any tasks from your meeting right away. This is going to instill confidence in your customers that you're the right person to handle their job because you're quick and efficient. And then at this point, I think it's completely appropriate to connect with your customer via Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram if your business is on social media. I'm not sure that I would do this on a personal social media level. That would just be a case-by-case basis, but I would be sure to connect with them if you have a business account. I would also be sure to add them to your database to receive any emails or direct mail campaigns that you might send out. So we're going to shift gears now to the external customer visit. The good news is that you got in the door and that your customer agreed to let you come meet with them. But now what? You have one chance to wow them, so you need to make this visit worth their time and you can come out a winner. External visits, while much the same as internal, require some different considerations. Typically, this type of visit is planned or scheduled, which allows for more personalized preparation. One way to personalize the presentation is research. Researching your customers before you meet with them is critical. You need to know their purchase history with your company if they have purchased from you. And it's important to know what they've bought from you in the past and what they may still be buying from you. Are there repeat orders that they used to have that don't repeat anymore? You might want to ask why. Do they have a lot of new orders for car dealerships? Think about what else they could be buying from you in that market. Do your homework so that you look prepared. Then you want to check out their website. This is a great way to see what they're really into. Maybe what they sell the most of is something that they don't buy from you, but should. You can gain valuable information by using the internet. You also want to find them on social media, like I mentioned, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, their blog. You want to do this to try and find a common ground. Maybe you both love dogs or you volunteer for a similar organization. Any similarity that you can point out will endear you to your customer and give you a better chance at a lasting impression. I really think it's normal to look people up on social media, so don't worry that they may see that you have viewed their profile on LinkedIn. I think that really just speaks to your diligence to have a successful meeting. So you've done your research, but your homework's definitely not done yet. You need to prepare a presentation and gather samples. You want to make sure that your presentation is targeted and not too general. Some general company information at the beginning is okay, but you want to get to the main idea quickly to keep their interest. And you want to give them ideas. That's why they called you in. They need ideas on what products to order for their hospital signage or what works for a political campaign. It's okay to talk about all of your products a little bit, but you need to give them specific ideas to meet their needs. I always prepare a PowerPoint presentation for my meetings, similar to the one we're looking at here. I don't always use it. Sometimes I start the presentation and it just isn't working, so I jump ship and I go to what is working. But I do print off copies of the presentation to leave behind so that even if we don't get through all of the slides, they have the details to look at in their own time. I'm also a huge fan of samples. I think it's so much more effective for customers to purchase a product based off of seeing it and touching it rather than just listening to me talk about it. What I find most effective is to bring samples for the market I'm selling in. So if you're visiting a retail location, bring standard point of purchase samples. But then also bring some samples of your more unique products. You know, sometimes it's the most unique things that spark the most interest. And make sure that your samples are clearly marked so that when your customer calls and says they want to order that sticker from you, they can tell you exactly what sticker it is and you don't have to spend time researching that. Here are some extra steps that you can take for any customer visit. Send a pre-meeting packet. So you know when you're meeting with them, send this ahead of time. Put together some items that you'll be going over. Don't give away too much information, just enough to pique their interest and get them excited about your meeting. This could be done via email or direct mail, but I personally think direct mail shows that you put more effort into the gesture, and then they'll have the samples in their hands. Food and gifts are great to take to any meeting. I never meet a customer empty-handed. Sweets are my usual go-to, but depending on the time of day, I may bring lunch or breakfast. The gift idea is a little self-serving in that I would probably take a self-promo item, you know, maybe some water bottles that are branded with your information, or reusable bags, drinkware, socks, clothing, you know, the list goes on. Everybody loves a freebie, and it's just nice to leave something like that behind. And then we have sales sheets, and we supply sales sheets for our most popular products and markets. We have over 70 different sales sheets on our website. So find a sales sheet for the product or market that your customer is looking for. Personalize the sales sheet with your information, which is easy to do on our website. Print it out on a glossy brochure paper, and it's just like that. You have something that was really easy to do, but it looks like you put a lot of effort into it. So this slide is a repeat. You probably remember it because you just saw it at the end of the internal customer visit section. The same message holds true for the external customer visit as well. I will say it again, there is no point to a customer visit if you don't follow up. I use really the same steps for an external customer visit. I email, complete the to-dos, connect on social media. But for this type of visit, I also think it's a great idea to send a handwritten note. Tell them it was nice to meet them, you enjoyed seeing their space, you know, whatever you need to say there. So before you go to a trade show or exhibit, you need to think about your goals. What are you hoping to get out of the trade show? How many sales do you need to make to pay for the show? You need to plan how you will achieve your goals, because just going to the show and hoping for the best are not going to get you the results you need. Trade shows take a lot of preparation and planning, but they are a great way to connect with your customers and leave a lasting impression. So think about what type of show you're going to, and your samples should reflect that market that you're selling in. We take tons of samples with us to trade shows. Our show attendees love, you know, our stickers, magnets, plastic products, and we enjoy giving them, you know, whatever they want to take. We take Stouse plastic bags with us so that our customers can fill them up with our booth samples and they still know where they came from when they get home. And we also have a few standard sample packs that were printed for specific markets, which I'll talk more about in just a minute. Most likely your show, unlike ours, is for a specific market. So print up some custom samples to be used at that show. Some examples are, if you're going to a craft brewery show, take a coaster or take coasters with your name printed on one side and maybe the different types of markets that the coasters can be used in on the other side. Or here, the example on the screen shows different products that we can print. This could double as your business card, and it's definitely more memorable than a standard paper business card. Another idea is, if you're going to a business expo, take some of our plastic business cards to show off a really unique product. These are definitely a higher price point than a paper business card, so more money in your pocket. And it's by far our #1 most requested item when we get back from our trade shows. It's a popular item. So if it is for us, it most likely would be for you as well. If you're going to a school expo or a PTA convention, you could put together a sample pack for them to use and brand each sample with your website or contact information. You know, I mentioned before the sample packs. We do offer standard sample packs for various markets. We have an automotive pack, a school pack, healthcare, brewery, political, and then a generic sample pack that could be used for various markets. The samples in here are free of Stouse markings, and you can order those on our website if you want to order those sample packs. These are great to have on hand and take with you to trade shows or exhibits. I will be sending all of you a packet of these after the webinar so you can see those in person if you haven't already. So with trade shows, you definitely need to spread the word. Who is going to be attending the show? Do they know that you will be there? I usually send out an email in advance of the show. The type of show really depends on how far in advance I send the invite, but usually no more than 3 weeks ahead of time and then to 1 week ahead of time. Many trade shows will provide a list of the registered attendees in advance, so just email blast the entire list. Let them know your booth number and any other information that might draw them into your booth. I also post my attendance on social media, Facebook, Instagram, or you could even write a blog about your upcoming show. Any web-based type of post will broaden your reach. Look over the attendee list and see if you know anybody. If they are current customers or even potential customers, try to set up meetings with them at the show. You can do this during show hours, which is great if you can make that work, but you could also ask them out for dinner or suggest you meet for coffee. This is a great way to establish a more personal relationship, which can boost your business partnership as well. Your name and presence may simply be enough to get customers to flood into your booth, but if you think you need some additional help to generate interest in your company, bribery always works. You need to entice them to stop in. I take a printed register to win sign with me to most of my shows. This sign also happens to be one of our newest products, our glued poster, so it helps me direct attention to a product that I would like to showcase. The items that I give away are fairly small, but they're free, so usually that's enough. This sign has been a great way for me to also capture business cards and expand our customer base. It gives me a reason to ask for their card, and if I have their contact information, even if they forget about me, I will make it a point to follow up with them and get in front of that customer again. I also suggest show specials. These can be in the form of coupons, which is my go-to special, or products. I mentioned the samples just a minute ago, but they are so crucial to our success at shows and at leaving a lasting impression that they're worth mentioning again. Take plenty of samples, give them away freely. We don't brand our samples that we take because we want you all to be able to show them to your customers, but you could brand your samples if you want with your name, address, or just your website. Another take on a trade show idea is a vendor show. We have a customer who does this each year, and they're nice enough to invite us to exhibit. They host a vendor show at their location, but it could easily be done at a rented space if you don't have enough room. The space doesn't really need to be huge. It just needs to be big enough to hold the suppliers that you invite. Their show typically has between 10 to 15 suppliers. Our customer advertises the event to their customers through direct mail, email, social media, and then they also have sidewalk signs out the day before and the day of the event. And they serve lunch to everybody that comes, and then their customers, the guests, take time to browse each booth, and the vendors bring plenty of samples to hand out, branded with the company information so that everybody knows where they got it from. You know, our customer has had huge success with this event. They say it's a lot of work, and I imagine it is, but hosting your own trade show is a great way to leave a lasting impression with your customers. So there's a theme going on here. Once again, this is the same follow-up slide, and again, this is hugely important to leaving a lasting impression with your customers. If you spend the money to go to a show, you should make sure you take the time to follow up on any leads or to-dos from the show. I always send an email to everybody who stopped in our booth thanking them for stopping in. I send the show coupons again, and then I do send them a catalog and sample pack to each of them. I also send any additional items that they may have requested. You know, you need to remember that these people that stopped in your booth are hot leads. They came to see you at the show for a reason. And I'm guessing that most of your competition at the show won't follow up right away or at all. So if you make that effort, you will be the first one to leave the lasting impression. If you're in business, you want your customers to know you're in business, and the best way to do that is to have an online presence. Email, as we all know, when used correctly, can be probably the most powerful form of communication with your customers. We like to plan out our email marketing at the beginning of each year. We try to do a good mix of topical information, random fun information, and then specials notifications. We send no more than 4 emails per month. More than that, and your email address could start to get listed as spam, and then you lose your marketing ability with those customers. Social media is becoming increasingly more important to your lasting impression plan. The beauty of social media is that there's no limit. Those 4 emails per month that I advised on the previous slide can be communicated in a matter of minutes on social media, and that leaves you the rest of the day to post more if you want. There's probably such a thing as too many posts, but the threshold is much higher here than it is via email. Next, you should have a blog. You may think that you don't have much to blog about, but blog entries don't have to be long or complex to get attention. The more out there you are on social media, the more likely your customers are to remember you. If you don't have a lot of creative blog ideas of your own, you can always steal anything from our blog. We put the info out there to be helpful to you, so read it and learn from it, but also use it for your own post if you want. So over 1 billion people are active on Facebook, and that it only makes sense that your business should be active on Facebook too. Post anything that you think is interesting, cool projects you're working on, cool people you work with, specials you're running, etc. Find your customers and friend them, follow them, make sure that you are visible to them. And then there's LinkedIn, which is kind of the professional version of Facebook, which is a great way to connect with people in the industry. You can use this, like say you want to get in the door of a local business. Most likely, you can find who to connect with on LinkedIn. Like Facebook, this is a great place to post business news, but LinkedIn posts kind of take on a more professional vibe, so I suggest saving the fun stuff for Facebook. And then last on the list is Instagram. This is a great place to post pictures of projects or people in your office hard at work, your employees volunteering at a local event, pictures of a trade show you attend, the list goes on. And your Instagram posts can show up in your Facebook feed as well for double exposure. The main idea here is that social media increases your visibility and is a big part of the lasting impression you want to make with your customers. Random acts of kindness are important in building relationships with your customers. I say random, but our acts of kindness are anything but random. Your customers post successes on social media, or maybe there's an article in the newspaper about something they did that's really great, or maybe you see a post or an article about someone that's not a customer but that you would like to be a customer. Pay attention to those things and send these people a gift to acknowledge their success. We have celebrated our customers in a variety of ways here at Stouse. We had red Solo cups printed up with our Stouse logo on them. We filled them with colorful candy and ribbon, and we sent them to the 50 most fun people in the promotional products industry. There was an article about that in a magazine, so we sent those people a gift. We've sent cookies to customers with large orders. We have sent bottles of wine to award winners at various shows. None of these things can be bought at Stouse. These are just gestures of goodwill to show our customers that we value them and that we celebrate their success. I also recommend sending your customers ideas, not just talking about a product and its benefits. We put together a political sample box for every customer that placed a political order with us over a certain dollar amount. So we sent them a large 22 by 13 box filled with a full-size corrugated sign, a banner, lapel stickers, rally signs, bumper stickers, and other political products for a fictitious Stouse candidate. We labeled the box with a sticker that said your political headquarters, but we left it free of any Stouse markings or logos. We wanted you, our customers, to be able to take this big idea to your customers to try to get more political business. Instead of just sending random small-sized political samples, we sent a set of items in an eye-catching package. You may or may not get more political jobs from this box, but I guarantee that your customer will remember you the next time they have a print order. Freebies and giveaways, always a great way to make an impression. Give away a free order of magnetic business cards to anyone who places a school order with you in the month of May. If you get multiple school orders, combo the business card orders together when you send it to Stouse, and you'll get yourself the best per piece price possible. With each order that goes out your door, attach a clear ruler with your contact information. This will get you frequent visibility every time they need to pull out their ruler. Say a new brewery opens up in your town. Take 250 coasters down to them to use at their bar. Give them to the brewery for free, but include your logo and contact information on one side of the coasters. The usual suspects, these are the little things that you should do consistently to help make a lasting impression. So your logo should be on everything. Any sample you hand out should have your logo on it. We sell small roll label stickers that are really inexpensive. A roll of 1,000 little white paper labels with a one-color imprint will run you about $32 using a 20% self-promo discount. Put these on every sample that goes out your door so your customers know who to call when they want to order that piece. Hand out your business card to everyone and make sure your business card is a statement piece. Our business cards, like I mentioned before, are plastic. They look great. They're very memorable. Say thank you. Think about how many times people tell you thank you when you've purchased something from them. Sadly, when I think of that, I realize it doesn't happen to me very often. So thank your customers for everything. It will make a positive impact, and you may be one of the only ones doing it. Be on time, simple as that, and smile and be courteous to your customers. Your smile could make your customer's day and then make you more memorable. So the experience is what it's really all about. In order to give your customers a great experience, you need to first understand them, then use that understanding to show them what you can do for them. Your customers need to feel valued and see the value in working with you. Let them know that they're important to you and you want to earn their business. And of course, follow up. I hope that you all were able to take away a few things from this webinar in helping you with suggestions to leave a lasting impression with your customers. I, too, want to leave a lasting impression with you. At Stouse, we really understand that we don't succeed unless you, our customers, succeed. Therefore, helping you be successful is at the heart of everything we do. I've mentioned a number of marketing tools that we have available to you here at Stouse, but if you need any help navigating these tools, please feel free to reach out to myself or any one of our 35 customer service representatives. We are always happy to help. So next up, we hope that you can join us for the next webinar on June 8th, which will be led by Mike Steck, our Director of Marketing. It's the first in a two-part series on the Stouse product line. The second part of this webinar series will be held on June 22nd, and there we'll cover decals, plastics, and signs. So you can sign up for the webinars on our website or just watch for an invitation in your email. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'll be sending this webinar in a PDF format to everybody who attended, and the webinar will be posted on our website for you to watch again if you need to see any portion of it again or if you didn't get in the beginning. And now I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions here. See which. Okay, so it looks like someone is asking what was the self-promo discount. So our self-promotion discount is for anything that you order that's branded with your company information. And that discount is 20%, and it's off of the net pricing, so that's always there for you to use. So here's someone's asking how much for the idea box. You know, we did not charge for our idea box. That's something that here in marketing, you know, we enjoy collaborating with our customers on projects like that. So I have your contact information, and I can reach out to you and see what kind of ideas you're looking for. But, you know, that kind of thing is something that we provide to you, our customers, at no charge. We're happy to help. And here someone's asking, they say that they don't have a lot of money in their budget for extra samples and giveaways, and they want to know if I have any suggestions. I really suggest that you get with your vendors and let them know what you're working on and see if they can help you out. We offer the 20% self-promo discount, which definitely helps out. If you know you need more than that, you can always ask. I think any of your vendors would entertain that at least. And you know, I do think that a lot of what I went over today requires time, which I know is valuable, but a lot of it isn't a whole lot of expense. So keep that in mind, that a lot of it's just the time. And let's see, this customer wants to know how they put together a presentation. Well, this presentation that I did using PowerPoint, but there's a lot of different presentation programs available. I think this is a Windows-based program, but Google has one, Apple has one, so just do your research and find the one that works best for you. I would say the other piece of advice here is to practice a lot. We've been doing webinars for a while now, but you know, I look back at the first ones we did compared to the ones we do now, and I think we just keep learning and improving each time. So like anything else, the more you do it, the better your outcome will be. And that looks like it is it for the questions. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off, but I really appreciate you guys taking the time to sit in on this today. I hope you were able to take something away from it. Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions, and best of luck. Thanks.